Welcome to this tutorial on adding citations to Zotero using DOIs and other identifiers. So, amongst many other ways to add citations into Zotero libraries, you are able to actually add them by the unique identifiers that they own. A DOI is a digital object identifier, and a lot of journal articles and other online sources will have these, especially if they're coming from an academic source. With books, you are able to use the ISBNs. Other specific databases like PubMed or Archive also have specific IDs that Zotero is able to pull bibliographic information from. So I found this article through the library's quick search, and in order to get to the DOI, I'm going to need to scroll down a little bit to the end of its kind of record here. Then I highlight my DOI, copy it, and then go into my Zotero library, and then up at the top there's this little like magic wand kind of icon, and I'm simply going to paste that DOI in there, hit enter on my keyboard, and then it pulls in information about that item. Now, it's always a good idea to kind of double check to see that all the information in here is correct. So if I wanted to go back and forth a little bit between both of the original record as well as my Zotero library, just to double check to make sure that it's correct, it's a good idea. Similarly, in PubMed, sometimes you will see both a DOI and a PubMed ID, but I'm going to grab the PubMed ID here, copy it, and then again switch over into my Zotero library, use the little wand archive, copy, paste, hit enter. All of it comes in. And you'll notice that in this case, I actually did bring in more information than when I used just the DOI. So the DOI is going through the program called Crossref, so it didn't actually pull in an abstract and attachments and everything. But the PubMed ID actually pulled in the abstract, it pulled in an attachment, so it got that PubMed entry, so it's a link out. It also brought in some tags and other things that I might not necessarily want, so I can go ahead and delete out a bunch of these as well. And then with an archive ID here, I can also do this. I'm going to grab, again, this archive ID, copy, and then go ahead and go ahead and paste that into the box, hit enter, and then it's going to pull out, and again it will note that it's coming from a preprint, which is what archive is, and so it will note that the item type is different. So if I actually wanted to go in and get that fully published article instead of a preprint, I would need to grab the DOI from archive instead of the archive identifier. Another nice thing about this add by ID tool is that if you have a physical book, you can actually type in the ISBN that is a unique identifier for all books, and again it will pull this in, and this time it's coming from like the Library of Congress catalog or possibly OCLC WorldCats option as well. Again, it's always a good thing to double check and make sure that items are coming in correctly, but I typically see a lot less issues using the unique identifiers than if I'm trying to grab things through the Zotero connector even. You can technically add multiple items at the same time with this, but you kind of have to kind of prep yourself. So I have two different DOIs here, and I've got them separated out by a comma. So if I want to copy these two things together, and then go in and paste those two IDs in here, again, it will pull them back in. You have to have that list kind of preset, because if you go ahead and try to paste in one ID and then navigate away to another screen and then go back into Zotero, that pop-up goes away. So again, you have to kind of have it preset. And remember to always double check that the information that was scraped and imported using that ID is correct. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask a librarian or check out Zotero's documentation. And thank you for watching.